Let us begin. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhirilitam kalmashapaham sravanamangalam srimadatam bhuvi grinanti e bhuridajanaha. In our last discussion, we heard Sri Ramakrishna is saying, if you want to realize God, first of all, purify your mind. He was giving an example that one young man of a village, he blew the conch in the evening time and he was trying to make a fun. The villagers then afterwards came and said, you have not yet set up the image, and still the whole temple is so dirty. How can people come and worship? Through that, he was trying to tell that if you are going on talking about God or doing a little bit of religious thing, visiting the temple, do you think you will realize God? No. What you have to do, you have to be sincerely try, and then he said, purify your mind. We heard in the Bible also that Jesus said, blessed are those who are pure in heart, for they shall see God. But the thing is, what is that purity? Shall we have to eat some particular things, or wear something, or bathe, or what type of things that we have to do to purify our mind? Sometimes we are very, very confused, and this has created a lot of problem in the society too, because of this purity. Those who are born in a Brahmin family in India, they think that they are blessed because they are Brahmin and they are pure and all this. Is it purity? What is purity? We find in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 16th chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling, Abhayam Satya Samsuddhi. First is fearlessness, and second is purity of heart, Satya Samsuddhi. Satya Samsuddhi means purity of heart. And what is this purity of heart? Satya Samsuddhi. How come the fearlessness? Some people are so fearless. They are not afraid of anything. Are they really pure? No. This fearlessness means, as because I know that I am not going to die, I am Atman, all-pervading self, and there is no fear. When fear comes, the conception of two. When fear comes, when I think that I am going to die, I am going to lose, and that is the time I am afraid. Sometimes the children, if you go, and we used to make fun, sitting on the lap of a mother, if you go and tell her or the child that this is my mother, and he will fight. No, this is my mother, this is my mother. They don't like to share, fearing that someone will take away. And when you think there is nothing to take away, because everything in it, I am there, that abhayam, the fearlessness. That fearlessness is not that I will jump from the somewhere to kill, or go and fight with the dacoits of ferocious people, or do this and that. Not that fearlessness. Fearlessness means the complete faith in God, and by that I know that I am eternal self. So that is called fearlessness. Abhayam, fearlessness. Satya Samshuddhi. This is a very important thing. Satya samsuddhi, purity of heart. In the Sanskrit they call sattva samsuddhi. In English translation it will be purity of heart. What does it mean by purity of heart? Again we are discussing the same thing. Sri Ramakrishna said that you have to purify first, you be pure, then only you can realize God. Then he himself said, Mon mukh ek kara. You have to be same within the heart and your speech and behavior. Telling something and doing something, thinking something and telling something and doing something, you can never realize God. You can get a lot of respect in the society. You can earn a lot of money, perhaps, but you cannot realize God. That's why Sri Ramakrishna in his simple Bengali said, Mon, the mind, Mukh, the word, should be equal. Whatever you are thinking and what you are telling and doing should be equal. And he gave that story also. One mother came with a child to a doctor and he said, can you please check up my child? Some problem is there. Doctor checked the child and said, tomorrow you better come, I will give you the medicine. I will tell you what has happened. And they had to walk back for a long few miles. Again came back walking. Then the doctor simply said only one thing, don't give him sugar. The mother said, if it is so, why you have not said this yesterday? Only don't give him sugar means, for that I had to walk such a long time. Then doctor said, how could I? Because in my own room there was sugar. I love sugar. I eat sugar. How can I ask the child not to do that, take that? So I had to remove that sugar fast, so that the at least child will believe on my words. So that's called Mon Mukh Ek Kara, means you must say those things which you are doing, practicing, thinking, then you can say to the people. So that's called Satya Samsuddhi. What is the purity? The purified mind can realize God. Blessed are the pure in heart. These are the things. These qualities, divine qualities. In the Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling these are the divine qualities. Then Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. Jnana and Yoga, two different words. What is Jnana? And again in the 18th chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling Sarva Bhuteshu Ena Ekam. Sarva Bhuteshu. In all being, among all being, Ena, he. Ekam Bhavam Abhayam Ikshate. That is the true knowledge. What is that? One is able to see unitary, unmodified essence. And in what? Abhibhaktam vibhakteshu. And so many different things are there, but I have to understand this is only one. Suppose you go and look at a sweet shop, they are selling the confectionery, so many different type of sweets are there. Some are soaked in syrup, some are dry sweets, and so many varieties and color and sizes. Children won't understand, but the grown-up, they know all are made from the same milk. Similarly, when you look at this world and we find that the animals, the birds, the insects, the humans, so many varieties, but the Jnani will know one thing is very common in them. Nama, Rupa, their names and their forms are different. But one thing is very common. What is that? That consciousness. So similarly, Sarva Bhuteshu, in all being, one who can see only one essence of that, In different varieties, only one, that is called jnana. In the words of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, to know God is knowledge, and everything else is ignorance. So knowledge and ignorance. What is that knowledge? This is knowledge. What is ignorance? This is ignorance. So swatika abhayam sattva sansuddhi jnana yoga. Yoga means constantly unified with God. Vavasthiti, steadfastness. Knowledge and devotion, jnana yoga vavasthiti. Steadfastness means we have to go on practicing, practicing and practicing. The devotion constantly, you have to go on developing. Ma Sharadamani Devi says, if you go on nurturing or handling the flowers, then only both of your hands will be the smelling with flower. If you only touch once, that hand won't be having that smell of that flower. So you have to go on practicing the puja, the devotion, and steadfast way. Anything happen, with first thing that we do, we stop doing puja or anything. Nothing. Somebody has died somewhere, immediately we stop doing puja or going inside the temple or offering pranam. Why? That is the time one should pray to God much more, many times. Why not? When we are eating, why can't we offer the food to God? If we feel that God is also living, He also needs the food. He is not only a picture or an image or an abstract. He is my very own. In this figure, He is with me. Can't I offer food to that God? When I am eating, someone has died, I am sorry for that. But have I stopped eating for 13 days? Then someone else will be sorry for me. So in that case, so this is the thing we have to understand. So that is called steadfastness. Whatever comes, success, failure, but constantly. Jnana yoga vavasthiti, then danam, damascha, yajnascha. Danam means benevolence. In all the time, in all the religion, all the great masters, they have all the time advised this danam. I have earned something. I am having something. Now I am giving it out of my own. I am giving it to somebody else whom I don't know, from whom I am not expecting any return. And I am not going on publishing that I am doing it. How can I do that? Unless and until I have at least reduced that I consciousness, possessiveness, reduce that, then only it can be possible. So this is called danam. It's very, very important. And then damascha, yajnascha. Damascha means controlling of the senses, and yajnascha, unselfish work for the benefit of others. That's called yajna. Satkarma, unselfish work for the benefit of others, called yajna karma. Danam, damascha, yajnascha, then swadhyaya. Regularly you have to study at one scripture. Some portion of the scripture you must study. In whole of the North India, the people will be chanting the name of the Hanuman Chalisa. That's called Swadhyaya. But at the same time, you have to understand, just going on repeating on too, you have to ponder over the meaning too. Then only the changes will come in your mind, in your life, in your character. Otherwise, just going on chattering, reciting, without giving the attention to the meaning won't help you. So this is called swadhyaya. Tapa and arjavam, austerity. To some extent one must practice austerity. I think in that when I went there, rally, I was telling them three different types of austerity. Sharira, Mana and Vakya. 3 different types of austerities are there. Controlling the words, I feel like telling something, comment something, but no, I own. That's called tapa. Some people will go on commenting without understanding why that person is doing this thing. Without knowing that, simply comment. When that person is telling something or doing something, they must be having some reason at the back. First you know that. Then only you can say that. No, immediately they'll be commenting. And they are all devotees and thinking that God's blessings will come. We have to be very careful. That's called tapa. And tapa doesn't mean only fasting. Tapa doesn't mean only carrying. In our country, the people will be there almost in different places. They'll be carrying water, holy water, and they'll be walking for miles after miles to a particular place and then pouring water on Shiva, etc., etc. A lot of physical austerity they do. But what about this thing? Controlling the tongue, controlling the words. I know so many things, but I am not telling anything. Control. That's called tapa. Sharira. And what is the Sharira tapa? Giving the service to God, then holy people, then educated people, those who are helping us. Like that, Sharira tapa, Manat tapa, inside the mind, the thought should be purified. Then Vachik tapa. So in the Bhagavad Gita, it is also say the Swadhyaya. And how it is possible unless and until you constantly read these words, listen to these words, hearing these words, you won't get the inspiration. So this is the time we must have to. Then Arjabam. Arjabam means uprightness. There's no crookedness inside, thinking something and then behaving. That should not be. There's a very clear, simple way, but not insulting others. We should not say something in an insulting way. No. Satyam Bata. We must have to tell the truth, but not hurting others. That is called Arjabam. Then comes the non-violence, Ahimsa, Satyam and Akrodha, free from anger. How can one be free from anger? The 2 brothers, they were constantly fighting. So the mother used to tell that senior one, you are senior, you should not do this, you should not. But the junior is coming and hitting me, how long I can? Then he said, okay, how can you control your this anger? When your brother is coming, both of you I am telling, that both the brothers, when the anger is coming, you go on counting 10, 1 to 10. Then only afterwards, by that time if you are not satisfied, then you can fight, okay. Anything, both the brothers are ready, angry, they like to fight. And the senior one, he knows how to count. So 1, 2, 3, he will go on counting. It takes time to reach up to 10. But the junior one don't know how to count. He will say 1, 2, 10, and then he will start fighting. Then the mother told, how are you are fighting? I don't know counting. I know what, so I started. So like this, we cannot make the krodha, the anger. Why the anger comes? There is a hidden desire, unsatisfied desire. If the hidden, unsatisfied desire is there, and that is not because it is not satisfied, we are angry. So that we have to find out, and we have to remove that, akrodha. Then tyaga, shanti, apaishunam. What is tyaga? This is again a very tricky thing. The tyaga means giving up. If all the people, that was the misunderstanding of the Buddhism at that time. The people started thinking about ahimsa. Bhagavan Buddha said, before Bhagavan Buddha, Yaina, this Mahavir Yain, he said also ahimsa. But that was not much having impact in the society, in the life of the general people. But the Buddhism, it became very much ahimsa, misinterpreted, misunderstood. And that is the reason Swami Vivekananda is one place telling that because of that only we became weak. The Kshatriyas, if they are not practicing the fight and not keeping them ready to fight against the enemies and practicing only ahimsa even when the enemies are approaching, what will happen? So that is the ahimsa, and that tyaga, shanti, ahimsa, this ahimsa, satyam, akrodha, tyaga. What is tyaga? That we don't understand what is tyaga. That is the reason thousands and thousands of people became monks and nuns at the time of Bhagavan Buddha and Buddhism. And they degraded the ideology of tyaga. The degradation of tyaga, renunciation. What for renunciation? We don't know. It is just for the fun of it we come and then we find like this. It is not. It's very difficult. What is tyaga? Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasa kavayo viduhu. Arjuna was asking Sri Krishna. In 18th chapter, he is asking in the beginning, can you please explain what is sannyasa and what is tyaga? Sannyasa means tyaga. Nyasa means tyaga, renunciation, giving up. Then why both the words you are using again and again, sannyasa and tyaga? Then Sri Krishna is explaining. Some people they think the Gita is as a scripture only for the Hindus. Wrong. They should read Gita. They should understand the meaning of it. It's a complete psychology. And how nicely scientifically they have explained this kamyanam karmanam nyasam. That those who have given up those work which is prompted out of some desire. I will go to heaven, I like to get this, I like to get that. In that cases only it is called kamya karma. I have a desire, and with that desire only I am doing it. That's called kamya karma. But the sannyasis, they do a lot of work. They should do work. Swami Vivekananda said that you people have not understood the real meaning of tyaga. And thousands of Hindu sannyasis sitting idle. Only from the morning till evening, they will be doing only a little bit of this and that. They are thinking they will get the mukti. Like that, so many years passed. Then Sri Ramakrishna Vivekananda came and established dharma. How? By giving them real meaning of these practices. Not that the sannyasis were not there. Not that the tyaga was not practiced, but misunderstood. And that way, the practices were also not proper. When millions of sannyasis are there, they are eating, they are wearing, they are living. Where from the support is coming? From the society. And then what you are doing for the society? Nothing except cursing. Is this the way you can realize God? Kamyanam karmanam nyasam. Or other work you must do for the betterment of the others when you are doing. That you should do. And do it as the work of God. Without ego. And then what is tyaga? This is called sannyasa. What is tyaga? Sarva karma phala tyagam. Sarva karma phala. You must do the work. The work you must have to do. And then that phala. And what is that phala? When I work in an office, my result is my salary. Is it? No. That is not. Again, it's not mentioning like this. Oh, I will come and do the job. I won't take the salary. How I will survive? That is not. It is karma phala means the people are very much attached with the result of those work that they have done. Again and again they will be going on telling, I have done this, I have done that, etc. Even there are two plants I found and the Calcutta Advaita Ashram. Suddenly I found in the one morning someone has thrown on the street, and it came on our gate, ashrama gate, two small plants. I felt, oh my God, it can be very good plants, but they are usually they grow in 5,000 feet height. So I thought, okay, but why throwing away? And there was some space was there. I kept them in both the places. Then slowly it was growing up, beautiful plants. I used to give a lot of water and minerals and this and that, trying to save those. Then afterwards, when I got transformed from Advaita Ashram, I went to Andaman, and once I came back, I saw the big trees. Now also it is there. One tree has fallen, another is there. The moment I go, I feel I planted that. Why it should be? So that is called, the tyaga means sarva karma phala tyaga. Yeah, I did it, but that's all. The karma phala, at the same time, the result, if I am not accepting, I am not suffering or enjoying, I am tranquil. Sarva karma phala tyagam prahus tyagam vichakshanaha. The people of that capacity of thinking, proper thinking, they say that this is called tyaga. Then shanti means peace and tranquility. Apaishunam means aversion to slander, another quality. Srima Sharadamani Devi is telling, please don't find fault with others. And if you are not finding fault with others, you are not criticizing. When you are rectifying the defects of the people, from the point of view to rectify him or her, for her or him, his betterment, that is not dosha drishti. That you have to understand. The one brahmachari, that in one lecture, this point came. The mother is telling, don't find fault with others. Then does it mean these? Then he was asking this question with a narration. One of our brahmachari in some center, he was in charge of the kitchen. You know, in India, our ashramas are very big. So many people will be daily taking food. So one monastic is in charge over there, purchasing and all this. And he could find that the cook is taking away many things, ingredients, secretly. He used to see that. But he never reported this to the in charge or never said anything to that person also. Why? Because he read, mother said, Karo dosh dekona, don't find fault with others. And he thought that he is taking away secretly without telling anything, stealing, but I should not see this. Let him do, that is his karma. Why should I? After some time, then it became impossible because the blame was coming on him. You have purchased so many things, and for the whole month marketing, now within 10 days, 12 days, again you are asking to purchase. Why? Then too, he said, some people are taking away. Who are those some people? Our cooks. Then you are not telling them anything? No, mother told not to find fault with others. So is this the not to find fault with others? Not like that. You have to rectify, you have to see, you are a boss, you are an officer, you are taking care, the responsibility to something to go on. There you must be every time pointing, no, you must have to do in this way. That is not fault finding. What is fault finding? The person, if you are not liking, whatever he is doing or she is doing, going on finding some defect in that, that is called fault finding. And if you are doing that fault finding, poishunam means slander. You go on telling others also, you know, he is doing this or she is doing that and like this. So that way you are actually disturbing your own mind. Constantly that thought is there in your mind and your mind is not purified. So the purified mind means all these qualities. Then comes daya, bhuteshu aloluptam. Bhuteshu, to all beings, daya, compassion, feeling for the others, and free from sensuality. Aloluptam, that should not be there. Mardabam means gentleness, Hri, modesty, and achapalam, steadiness. Chapalata they say, and achapalam. And Bhagavan Buddha is also telling that you should be constantly cautious about what is going on in your mind. So then only you can purify your mind. Our Sri Krishna said, Sri Ramakrishna said, Jesus said, the mind should be purified. How? By washing. Special soap is available somewhere. In some ashrama, if they can produce some soap which you can drink and then gargle and all, then the mind will be pure. I don't know, maybe it may come in future. But the purity is the thought. Purity, mind means thought. And what is that thought? These are the thoughts. Constantly you are aware that my mind should not be like this. And abhayam satyasam suddhi jnana yoga vyavasthiti danam damascha yajnascha swadhyaya tapa arjavam ahimsa satya akrodha tyaga shanti apaishunam daya bhuteshu. Of course, Sri Ramakrishna said, you are not who you are to show compassion. You are to do service only. The moment we say the word daya, and immediately we think that we are higher and they are lower. I am showing them compassion. No, you cannot show the compassion. So this is the service attitude. The giver should kneel down, Swamiji said. So daya bhuteshu aloluptam mardavam. Gentleness is very, very essential. That when you are talking with others, behaving with others, if we are a little rough, just a simple thing, immediately reaction in that mind. Oh, why he is or she is talking, telling me in this way? So that thought is creating problem for your mind. The impurity comes in this way. So this is the mardavam and then hri, modesty. Always very modest, humble, achapalam, steadiness. Today, next day, the next day. Someday I am doing this so much of japa. Next day no japa. Then going to. So some people in the religious life is a very, very simple, normal life. And sometimes some people think this is something abnormal. It's not abnormal. Some people will be telling that can you bring out light from the third eye? I don't find the third eye here. Only two eyes and over that another two aspects are there. So that you can say 4 eyes. But the fifth one I cannot find. So this way only unnecessarily they are thinking some peculiar way. Anything spirituality, religious means is not normal, something abnormal. And all people, they love to say and show. Wrong. This is very normal. And what happens? He becomes a wonderful person. Why? Because he transformed to sattva. And this is coming. Afterwards, we find that Teja, Shama, Dhriti, Shaucham. Vigor should be there. When one becomes spiritual, very humble all the time, telling nothing, all people are doing and anything they will be doing, because spiritual person, he will be always humble. Wrong. Spiritual persons must be very strong. Unless this vigor is there, mental strength is there, you cannot continue in your ideology. Some people will come, they will say something, and then you cannot continue. There's a story. You cannot satisfy people all the time. The one sannyasi is a wandering monk. He came to a village and he was taking rest under a tree. He saw there is a brick over there. He took the brick, placed his clothing on that brick and used that brick as a pillow and was lying. And the women, they were passing through that way. They saw the man. Then one woman said, "Look at this man. He's a sannyasi." But at the same time, he could not give up that fashion of using the pillow at the time of sleep. Why the sannyasi should have that? And they were talking about and went away. The sannyasi said, okay, they are not satisfied. So he threw away the stone, that brick, and he was keeping his hand under his head and he was sleeping. And these ladies were coming back and they commented, "Look at this man, he has become a sannyasi." I only commented why he is using the brick as a pillow. Immediately he became so angry, threw that one. Then this person understood that you cannot satisfy people because they are like that. So you have to continuously go on in your own way. That is called teja. The vigor should be there. This is my ideology. Whoever said and whatever they say, I am going to practice this ideology. Shama, the patience, this is necessary. And dhriti, fortitudes. Shaucham, the purity of the physically and mental also. Adroho, harmlessness. If you want to become a really purified mind, then one should be harmless. Again, if I become harmless, then naturally the society will do harm to me. What I will do at that time? Sri Ramakrishna answers. A brahmachari was passing on a field. Suddenly some boys came, the cowherds, and they said, "Sir, don't pass through that way, there is a snake. And that snake always bites." He said, "Okay, let me see." And brahmachari knew the mantras. He went and talked to that snake, and "Why you are biting like this? These boys have done nothing to you. You are supposed to eat other things. Why you are going and terrifying these boys and doing like this? You should not do it." "Well, I will give you a mantra, practice it. Then your anger will come down." He gave the mantra and the snake started practicing. That the story goes like this. Then after many years, when the brahmachari was coming back, he was trying to find out the snake. Then those boys said, "Sir, he has passed away. We have killed that snake." "You have killed the snake? It is not possible. Because I gave the mantra, and by that mantra he is supposed to be reaching in a spiritual height. Let me see." He went, called the snake. Hearing the voice of the Guru, the snake came out and he was talking with the Guru. Guru said, "How come you have become just a skeleton? Are you not eating anything?" "Oh no, I can't do any harm to anyone." "Then what is this? Is the way that you have living?" Now these boys, they don't know that I have become totally harmless. So they come and play with me, they throw me on the stone, they throw me on the hard places. I have broken my many places, so I am very, very painful. So whole day I live in that hole, and the night only come out to take little food. Then the brahmachari said, "Have I ever said you not to hiss?" That is the idea. When you are in the samsara, in the society, you have to hiss. You have to show that you can do harm to others, but not doing that. So one should not do that. Adroha, harmlessness. And sannyasi, they should not do any harm to anyone. Some of the people in our country now, they are trying to get the sannyasis involved in the politics, active politics, in the name of the ancient religion. They are the mistakes. The moment one is a sannyasi, he cannot do any harm to anyone, because that is the promise. He cannot speak slanders or use slanders to criticize others, because that is the promise of the sannyasins. Now, if you read our newspapers, you will find all the leaders are going on criticizing others, because that is the way of politics. They will be telling in the whole India that I am only perfect man, I can give you the help. And all others are the bad, bad and bad. And just after election, when the result will be over, those people will be eating in the same place, making jokes and cutting, all this will be there. So that is the life of a politics. Can a sannyasi do that? The moment they will do that, they are no more sannyasis, they are politicians. So this is the adroha, na atimanita, and free from vanity. If you really want to be a purified mind, there should not be any vanity. The little vanity that I am so and so, you should not come here, you should not do this, I only do this, then that way I know so much, I can do this and that. Whenever I go, thousands of people will be listening to me. All the vanity. So this is the bhavanti sampadam daivim. These are the qualities of the spirituality, the divine treasures. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling that I am having those treasures with me, and I like to give it to you, and you have every right to take it from me, because the children have the right in the treasure of the parents. So this way we find that. Then ultimately what happens? Again in the Bhagavad Gita we find, it says Sattika Karta. What is that Sattika Karta? The person who is a Swatika, Rajasika and Tamasika. What is the Sattika? Mukta Sangha. He is not attached with anything. He is everywhere, but not attached with anything. Anahambadi, free from pride and self-importance. But at the same time, Dhritti Utsaho Samannitaha. Dhrittutsaho Samannitaha. There's a great joy in him, in that person, to perform the work of the God, of the asrama, or that institute. Every moment he is constantly working. Not that since I am not attached with this, why should I do this? No, not like that. Siddha Siddha Nirvikara. He is not thinking about the success or failure. And that type of people are called Karta Sattika Uchyate. And we have to go on that way, multiplying. And then only this society will be heaven. The Sattika people, if they are there, the moment we are Sattika, we are inactive. Because the action means there are some results. Wrong. That is why Swami Vivekananda introducing this Karma Yoga. We have found this in the Bhagavad Gita, but no one practiced. Only at the time of Sri Ramakrishna, who impressed Swami Vivekananda, forced him, inspired him to do that. Then afterwards, Vivekananda again introducing this Karma Yoga. And this karma when we do actively, with great zeal, but without attachment, that's called Sattika, and then only the mind is pure. And Sri Ramakrishna is telling, if the mind is pure, then only you can see God. And it was the Sunday, October 22nd, 1882. The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna by Nikhilananda Ji Maharaj at the 126th page. It was the day of Vijaya, the last day of the celebration of the worship of Durga, when the clay image is immersed in the water of a lake or river. Master Mashai is giving the account. About 9 o'clock in the morning, M was seated on the floor of the master's room, Sri Ramakrishna's room at Dakshineshwar, near Sri Ramakrishna, who was reclining on the small couch Rakhal was then living with the master, and Narendra Bhavanath visited him frequently. Baburam had seen him only once or twice. A very clear, this way he is mentioning, so that when afterwards when the people will be writing about, there will be no ambiguity. That when we think about our past rishis, about the Ramachandra, even about the Shankaracharya, it is so difficult to find out. Now he is giving who are the people coming, visiting, who is staying, when, where, everything. Then the master, Sri Ramakrishna, is asking, did you have any holiday during the Durga Puja? Because the Master Mahasaya is working in a school. Then the Master Mahasaya said, yes sir. Then he said, I went to Keshav's house every day for the first 3 days of the worship. Saptami, Ashtami, Navami. For the first 3 days of the worship I went. Is that so? Master is inquiring. I heard there a very interesting interpretation of the Durga Puja. The Sri Ramakrishna, please tell me all about it. Keshav Chandra Sen, he was a Brahma, but in his house Durga Puja is there, he is performing, and there every day he used to explain about the Durga. Master Mahasaya is talking about that. Then the master Keshav Sen held daily morning prayers in his house, lasting till 10 or 11. During these prayers, he gave the inner meaning of the Durga Puja. He said that if anyone could realize the Divine Mother, that is to say, could install Mother Durga in the shrine of his heart, then Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kartika and Ganesha would come there of themselves. With the Durga, all these are coming. And Lakshmi means wealth will come, Saraswati means knowledge, Kartikeya means strength, and Ganesha means success. By realizing the Divine Mother within one's heart, one gets all this without any effort whatsoever. Sri Ramakrishna listened to the description, questioning him now and then about the prayers conducted by Keshav. Then at last he said to Master Mahasaya, this is very important. Don't go hither and thither. Come here alone. Those who belong to the inner circle of my devotees will come only here. The ideology of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And that is a different. If we go to different places, they are different way they are explaining, we get confused. Sometimes we like, sometimes we continue there, then we dislike, again we come. This way we waste our time and energy. The Sri Ramakrishna, because Master Mahasaya was very important, he was a real sincere devotee. So the Sri Ramakrishna is telling him, those who are really sincere to realize God in this modern age, they should seriously think about accepting the ideology of Sri Ramakrishna. This is no narrowness. This is not only as because I belong to the Ramakrishna group, I am telling this, because this is the truth. This time in this modern world, Sri Ramakrishna is the path. And different time, different people came, and that was that time. At this moment, in this modern age, Sri Ramakrishna. Don't go hither and thither. Come here alone. Those who belong to the inner circle of my devotees will come only here. Then he said, suddenly Sri Ramakrishna is inquiring, do you think this Narendra, Bhavanath, Rakhal, they are very simple? No, they are not. They are not to be lightly, they are not to be thought lightly of. Feed them one day. He is asking, feed them one day. Why? Because feeding a holy person is considered meritorious act. Master Mahasaya is a grihasti, but Naren, Rakhal, Vivekananda and Brahmananda, they are preparing themselves as a sannyasi, and they are preparing, but they are already very great soul, realized soul. That's why he is asking Master Mahashaya to respect them, to feed them. I think very highly of him. He is asking about Narendranath. Master Mahashaya said, haven't you observed his many virtues? He is talking about Vivekananda. Then Master Mahashaya, he used to practice meditation. Sri Ramakrishna is inquiring, how are you getting along with your meditation nowadays? This is the Guru's work. The Sri Ramakrishna, being in such a height of spirituality, even then he were all the time inquiring about his disciples, taking care of their advances in the spiritual life. How are you getting along with your meditation nowadays? What aspect of God appeals to your mind, with form or without form? That's because in those days the young people, they were confused how God can be in the forms. So most of them, they used to follow the system of the Brahma Samaj without form. And that Sri Ramakrishna is telling, sir, now I can't fix my mind on God with form. On the other hand, Master Mahashaya is telling, I cannot concentrate steadily on the God without form. With form, I don't like. Without form, I cannot concentrate. The Master said, now you see that the mind cannot be fixed all of a sudden on the formless aspect of God. Mind cannot be fixed all of a sudden on the formless aspect of God. It is wise to think of God with form during the primary stage. He is not asking that you should practice this. No. In the primary stage, you use this. Do you mean to suggest that one should meditate on clay images? The Master Mahashaya going on giving the argument. See, immediately Master said, why clay? These images are the embodiments of consciousness. We know the story that Swami Vivekananda, he said to that king of a Rajasthan king, Master, why clay? These images are the embodiments of consciousness. Even so, one must think of hands, feet and other parts of the body. But again, I realize that the mind cannot be concentrated unless one meditates in the beginning on God with form. This is what aim is telling Master Mahashaya. He has realized this. You have told me so. Well, God can easily assume different forms. May one meditate on the form of one's own mother? See, the Master Mahashaya is asking this. Instead of different images, can I meditate on my mother? Sri Ramakrishna, without hesitation, yes, the mother should be adorned. She is indeed an embodiment of Brahman. Then Master Mahashaya, he was thinking, what does one feel while thinking of God without form? The Master Mahashaya is thinking, and do you know what it is like? Sri Ramakrishna giving the answer. Then he thought for some time and told some words which the Master Mahashaya has not mentioned it over here. Because this is not possible. That was very, very personal experience must be. Then one day Sri Ramakrishna is telling, you must practice discipline. In the spiritual life, discipline is very important. That's why we must have a routine. That this morning I will get up, then I will do this, then I will do this. This way, the discipline should be there. Otherwise, it is impossible. The Jnanis think of God without form. They don't accept the divine incarnation. Praising Sri Krishna, Arjuna said, Thou art Brahman absolute. Arjuna is telling to Krishna. Then Krishna replied, follow me, and you will know whether or not I am Brahman absolute. So saying, Sri Krishna led Arjuna to a certain place and asked him what he saw there. I see a huge tree, said Arjuna, and on it I noticed fruits hanging like clusters of blackberries. Then Krishna said to Arjuna, come nearer, and you will find that these are not clusters of blackberries, but clusters of innumerable Krishnas like me, hanging from the tree. In other words, divine incarnations without number appear and disappear on the tree of the absolute Brahman. This is very important. When we always go on telling this is the only God, or this is the only incarnation, this is the only holy man, is very, very wrong. And sometimes some people, some group, they will be telling this is the only person, bas, over. There will be no afterwards. How do you know no afterwards? These are the answers. That's why this Panchama Veda, this knowledge, this was not known to people. And hundreds and thousands of years, we only fought on these. My Guru is better than yours, good than yours, like this. Yes, Ramakrishna telling the story of Krishna and Arjuna. Even Krishna is telling, you see, it goes on like this and that. One person was asking me, do you believe Sri Ramakrishna has taken birth again? He saw in one place, he told, narrated, in one place that I will come again after 100 years. So people are all anxious to know whether 100 years have passed, where is he, etc. I jokingly sometimes I say, nowadays it is very easy, ask Google. See whether Google can find it. But at least I don't know where he is, and doesn't need also. I don't need that. Because whatever the ideology the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna has given, the incarnation as Sri Ramakrishna, whatever ideology he has given, that is sufficient for this modern age. Let me practice that. Then realize God myself. That is what Swami Vivekananda is telling. Sufficient for 1500 years. Why? Because after that it will be diluted, as we find in the teachings of the great souls. Diluted. People are telling, narrating, and giving the explanation in a different way. But the high and very clear, this ideology we have to keep. Then Sri Ramakrishna, when he was going on telling like this, I accept God with form, and again I accept God without form. I accept God with form, I also agree in the formless God. That is Sri Ramakrishna. Then Master Moshe, he is telling, you are as infinite as He, the God, of whom we have been talking. Truly, no one can fathom your depth. Then Sri Ramakrishna smiled. So, because Sri Ramakrishna is truly the God himself, and he is that Brahman absolute in a human form. But again we have to understand, he is not the only one. Again someone may come someday, and we need not to be worried about that. And why we always fight and worry? Because again our samsari mon, because we like to possess. Sri Ramakrishna is ours, and no one should get better than this. The wrong thing. He is good for us, and at this present age, he is really very good for God realization. Now, let us offer our pranam, and in the pranam we will find how the Sri Ramakrishna has been, the pranam mantra, Who is Sri Ramakrishna? He is Niranjanam, he is Nittam, he is Ananda Rupam. Then how come he is in the form? Because Bhaktanukampa Drita Vigrahambai. He has accepted the form, human form, to bless the devotees. Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Drita Vigraham Vai Ishavattaram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat.